Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's November is going well. Thanksgiving is next week, which is crazy. Once again, time waits for nobody. Before we get started, as always, obligatory self promotion. What if I were the world poems by music written by me, your boy? Linked in the description, linked in the link tree. There's that, as always. So support your boy. I really need to work on my next book. We'll keep you We'll keep you tuned in for when that is. But today we're here to talk about the history of hyperpop. And I'm going to be honest, this is all from Wikipedia. I did not post, I didn't put every single thing from the Wikipedia link. So as always, you can just Google hyperpop Wikipedia link if you want to know more. And there's a lot to know. So let's start. Hyperpop is an electronic music movement and loosely defined microgenre that originated in the early 2010s in the United Kingdom. It is characterized by exaggerated, ironic, or maximalist take on the 21st century pop music tropes. The genre is often associated with LGBTQ plus artists and queer culture, and it typically ingrains pop and avant-garde sensibilities while drawing on elements commonly found in electronic, rock, hip hop, and dance music. So, I'm going to try not to read everything verbatim, but we'll see how it goes. So, the pioneers of the genre, well, they primarily trace back to the output of English musician A.G. Cook's record label and art collective PC Music, with associated artists like Sophie, GFOTY, Hannah Diamond, and Charlie XCX, helping pioneer a musical style that was later known as bubblegum bass. And we're going to talk about Sophie and Charlie XCX when we talk about some songs later. I'm trying. Oh, so it originally experienced a rise in popularity in 2019 with the song "Money Machine" by 100 Gex. I hope that's how they say the name. I listened to it for this video. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and say I cannot recommend it. So sorry to them. Maybe they have less intense songs. So there we go. A Spotify employee named Lizzie Sabo launched the influential hyperpop playlist after spotting the term hyperpop on the platform's metadata, which had been added by data analyst named Glenn McDonald in 2018. So it became really popular with Gen Z and TikTok. I feel like everything goes viral on TikTok at some point. You know, I feel like everything, like old songs, new songs. I don't feel like everybody has a chance because it's so much that goes viral. But I feel like a lot of stuff. I feel like there is potential to really go viral on TikTok. And then there's also a bunch of other styles um, that are also similar. There's Digicore, Glitchcore, Roblox Core, Daria Core, and subgenres. I do like Daria, the TV show. I wonder if that's what it is. Hyperplug and Hyperfunk were also associated with the movement. Um, so, and then the early 2020s, it was kind of, it kind of declined. And in 2025, they did do a doodle in honor of the late Sophie because she did pass away. And they did a. Okay, so it was for all the LGBTQ plus artists who pioneered hyperpop. They did a doodle. Yeah, they did a doodle for Pride Month for all of them. So that was cool. And I know Sophie has had a lot of tributes, and yes, she's passed away, unfortunately. So we're gonna talk about some characteristics of it. Let's see. So it doesn't follow rules. Um, it embodies exaggeration, electricity, self-referential. Say that 5 times fast. To pop music land, lots of synth, auto-tune, earworm vocals, excessive compression, distortion, as well as surrealist or nostalgic references in the 2000s internet culture and the Web 2.0 era. Common features include vocals that are heavily processed, metallic, melodic percussion sound, pitch shift synths, catchy choruses, short song length. One of these songs, it's short, but it's very intense. So that's true. Pitch shifted synths. Oh, I already said that. Shiny, cutesy aesthetics, juxtaposed with angst written or ironic lyricism, which is very true. Um, it's described as post-internet. It's often associated with the LGBTQ community, like I said. Several key artists identify as gay, non-binary, or transgender. Uh, it has an emphasis on vocal modulation and has artists that experiment with gender presentation and androgyny in their voices, as well as deal with gender dysmorphia. And we talked about Sophie a little bit. Artists like Sophie and 8485 explore themes of gender fluidity in their lyrical content. They say it's artificial and it's like extreme level pop, which it really is. It's like up to the max. They talked about maximalism, creating a cartoonish wall of noise that somebody describes it as. It's full of catchy tunes, remarkable hooks. I feel like that's pretty good. Describe the characteristics of it. And I'm just gonna get into some forerunners of it and to some early origins. Because it's kind of a lot. So we talked about who did we talk about? So there's some artists on the PC Music label like Rusty and Hudson Mohawk. There's so much. Oh, and there were some artists that foreshadowed the hyperpop with like you could tell I didn't read this before here. Anyway, yeah, I ain't supposed to know that. 303 were kind of the blueprint, which I feel like they are. And then the mainstream artists like Kesha were writing, credited with the writing. Yeah, so Kesha's like the forefront, one of the forefronts. Um, with their songs like Blow, and then of course they have Britney Spears with kind of like the forefront of like hyperpop with her dance floor fillers like Till the World Ends, Hold It Against Me, and I Wanna Go. Also has the same pounding beats that populate modern hyperpop. So there's that. And then influences. Oh, that was influences. No, I said the forerunners. Okay. And then the influences of hyperpop were other music like Euro house, future based electro pop, Euro trance, UK based dubstep, nightcore, a lot of stuff. And then they also have other like subgenres, like I said, digicore, glitchcore, and then also they have other influences like J-pop and K-pop. So it's a lot going on. And then, like I said, the origins were with the label PC Music, with artists like Sophie and A.G. Cook. And I also mentioned Charlie XCX earlier. And then they had, and I mentioned the editor from Spotify. So it's kind of like a rehash, but like a little more deeply. But there's also artists like Umru, who is also on here. That I'm gonna review one of their songs. And Easy Fun. I hope that's actually their name because I have some typos here because from copy and pasting it. But yeah, so those are like the origins of hyperpop and a little bit of the background. So it's basically an early 2000s thing, and it's kind of like people think it's dead, but I don't know. For me, in my earpods, in my phone, it's very much alive. So yeah, that's the background of hyperpop, and I'm gonna review 10 hyperpop songs. I got it from this website called The 45, and it's really 45 songs, but I just did the top songs 10 songs uh in their top 10. But I would love to explore all 45 because I'm going to be honest, some of these in the top 10 I don't really feel like are really hyper pop and they don't really deserve to be in the top 10. And then some of these are so high up, but I feel like they should be reversed. Like I don't think they ranked all of these correctly, in my humble opinion. And like, who am I? You know, just someone making a YouTube video about someone else's article. But anyway, I'm going to link the article in the description. And I also wrote poems for each song, and it's called an American sentence, which is basically a sentence poem with 17 syllables. Some of these are more, and some of these are a little less, because I just had to get my message across. I was going to start from number 10 to number 1, but I'm going to start from number 1. So this was number 1 on their list, was Immaterial by Sophie. So my review is it's very funky and danceable, also a little philosophical, lol. Like really really where do we exist without our bodies and our stories? Is kind of existential in the song, which is interesting. And she gives you something to think about, and something to groove to, lol. So I really love this song. It's been stuck in my head ever since I listened to it, and it's really good. But I rated it on how hyperpop I think it was. And I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's more experimental side, but it's still a bop. Like I don't feel like it's like if you want a quintessential hyperpop song, I don't think this would be it in my opinion, even though they put it number 1. So I disagree with that. But I wrote a poem called Material Girl. I could be anything I want to be, and I want to be your girl. So here's that. And then number 2, I did not realize it was hyperpop because this is actually one of my favorite songs by Charlie XCX. It's Vroom Vroom by Charlie XCX. And I already mentioned that. So it's crazy it's on the list. I never even thought of it like that. Definitely a certified bop, I'll give it that. And I listen to it now, I can get the hyperpop vibes, but how hyperpop is it? I give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like it's more techno pop to me, more like mechanical, like with the breaks and stuff in the song. But it's always a bop, so I mean, I'll listen to it. I listen to it all the time. But anyway, my poem is called Let's Ride. I'm a passenger princess on my throne where I'm supposed to be. So there's that. And she says Let's Ride in the song, so that's how I got the title. Now this one was where I really feel like they got into the hyper pop for real. So this is Money Machine by 100 Gex. And I think I mentioned earlier, I don't really recommend it, but it is 100%. I'm just going to give it the rating now. It is 10 out of 10 hyper pop. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute though. But yeah, it definitely reminds me of like a song you would put on a MySpace profile, which I talked about in my short video. It definitely super maximalist production, voice distortion, 100%. This should have been number 1. Honestly, I don't know why this was number 3. This is like, if you want to know what hyperpop sounds like, I say give it a 1 and done and listen to some more mellow hyperpop songs. I felt a little overstimulated, honestly, LOL, listening to this, and it should have been number 1. It's a 10 out of 10, 100%. Put it in the dictionary next to hyperpop, hit the play button. I would say only listen to it once because I don't know what was going on with the frequencies, but it was kind of messing with me, I felt like. So definitely very hyper pop. So 100%. So this poem is called Hater Alert. Think you're so bad, but you're just big mad. I don't need that energy. I feel like that's also a very MySpace, Facebook kind of like, oh, you're a hater thing. So that fits. Number 4, I don't know why this one was here. Bitch, I'm Madonna by Madonna featuring Nicki Minaj. When I listen to the rest of these songs on the top 10, this song shouldn't even be on the list. Nowhere in the top 45 at all, let alone at number 4. That's crazy. I think it's the production, but I don't think it should be here. But anyway, I get why this is on the list, but I also don't think it should be. Like, it has the energy and spirit of hyperpop, but it feels more dance leaning to me. So how hyperpop is it? I gave it a 2 out of 10. Like, I get it, but I don't like that it's on the list. But I disagree with it being on the list because, like, I get what they were going for, but I don't. It should definitely not be number 4. There were a lot of other songs by after this that were more hyper pop. And so the poem is called "A Whole Loser." Who do you think you are? You're not me, not even half of me. And she says, "Who do you think you are?" a lot in the song. So I use that. Number 5 is "Vizzy" by Sophie. Um, so this one is more hyperpop to me, more energetic and a little chaotic. I do like Immaterial, but this song is less structured and is more poppy. Like the song is fun and simple, very danceable still. And it is definitely a 10 out of 10 hyperpop. The whole voice distortion, the whole everything. Once again, it was a little overwhelming for me. I feel like the hyperpop that I listen to is not as on max as these were on this list. Um, so yeah, so I kind of went with the title because he kind of talks about like pop, like a soda pop. So it's called Stale Pop. If that's what you want to do, then be boring and stand on the wall. So yeah, and this one was shocking. I guess I shouldn't have been shocked because Madonna was on here, but this one is "Yeah Right" by Vince Staples. It's very interesting. It was produced by Sophie, so I mean, I could definitely see the influence on it. I do like the mix of rap and hyper pop. Um, yeah. So I think this song is yeah, I like the mix. So I gave it how hyper pop is it? I gave it a 7 out of 10 actually. At least production wise, I love the mix of genres. This one makes more sense because someone who's actually doing hyperpop produced this song and mixed the genres together. So I think the album was called something with fish, or he has a song with fish. So I called it Fishbowl. you think you think you something, don't you? But you're just a little. But you're just a little. I meant to put fish, but you're just a little fish in a big pond. You have a typo. So number 7 is "iPhone" by Rico Nasty. I'm gonna be honest. When I first heard this song, before I like really got into hyperpop, when she first released it, I hated it because I was like, "Girl, what is this? You ain't screaming on the song. What is all this high pitched stuff?" But now I get it. I like it. And now I understand it because I love hyperpop. So I love the early 2000s sound of this song, and I think she does kind of mention some 2000s stuff. And I am glad she went out of her comfort zone. And so now I understand it. Now I get it. You know what I mean? I didn't get it before, but now I do. So it's definitely a 10 out of 10 on the hyperpop. There's the voice distortion, there's the high pitch, everything. Yeah. So this one is called "Smart Gal." This time you won't get the best of me because I'm smarter than before. Um, I feel like this one was so intense. Uh, but I feel like it wasn't as intense as number 10. But let's see. Number 8 is "Popular" by Umru and Laura Les. I don't know if I said their name right. Review. I swear some frequencies of these songs are messing with me. LOL, I put that. But yeah, it's very much on genre. The vocal distortions, high pitch, obviously, bass booming. But I would not put this on replay though. It's not like an enjoyable song to like just listen to randomly. 10 out of 10, definitely in the genre. If you just want to listen to it once and then never again, I say give it a go. This one's called "You Don't Know Me." Do you think I'm cute or do you just want to use me for your own gain? So there's that. Number 9 is "Pink Diamond" by Charlie XCX. She's here again. This song should have been higher on the list too. Um, I think this song is a fun party girl song, but still experimental and hyper poppy. This has all the sounds associated with the genre. Once again, 10 out of 10. All these other ones, besides the ones at the top, were like super. I don't know why Madonna. I understand Sophie. I'm gonna give Sophie that, but Madonna is number 2. I don't understand that. That's crazy. No, oh, she wasn't number 2, she was number 4. Charlie XCX, I think this Charlie XCX should have been number 2, Pink Diamonds. Pink Diamond should have been number 2, honestly. Vroom Vroom, I can understand still being on the list, but maybe like in the 40s, because it's not as hyperpop as this one, I feel like. Um, and this is called Shine Bright. Get it? Diamonds shine bright like a diamond. Anyway, poem called Shine Bright. In a dark room, I shine like a pink diamond. Bling bling, blind you all night. There's that one. So the last song is called Ma Tichi. I can't even pronounce the other one. You Sohachi. We're gonna go with that. By Igloo Ghost featuring Mr. Yote. There are no words in this song. It was something. It was very experimental, but definitely on brand with the genre. Once again, I feel like listening to all these songs make me have me like expanding my hyperpop lens. I feel like I've been listening to mild hyperpop all this time because these songs were very intense. LOL. It's definitely a 10 out of 10. One and done once again because it was kind of a lot. But this poem's called Dance Dance. I feel like they said some words, and I feel like they said something about dancing, maybe. How I got this title, something. So here it goes. Vibration through your body, feel the rhythm through your bones, and embrace it. So I learned a lot about hyperpop through, reading about it on Wikipedia, and then also listening to these songs. These are very intense. All these songs deserve to be in it. Well, I would take out Vince Staples' "Yeah Right," maybe 11, and then Madonna, "Bitch I'm Madonna," take her out entirely out of the 45 songs. She doesn't even need to be here. But I feel like everything else is in the right spot because everything else was intensely hyper pop and honestly was a little overwhelming. I've been listening to this playlist on Apple Music called 2025 Hyper Pop, and I don't feel like some songs are intense. I will say that, and it is a little overwhelming. So I have to be like, I cannot listen to this one. But other songs I feel like are more mellow. So when I was going through these songs, I was like, oh my gosh, these frequencies. I I don't know if I could listen to these with headphones on. I did not listen to any of these with the headphones on. I listened to just from my phone. I can only imagine the frequencies. But I guess if you just this is all you listen to, I feel like this would be fine for you. But it was very intense for me. But yeah, do you like hyper pop? Who's your favorite hyper pop artist? What's your favorite hyper pop song? Are any of these songs your favorite? Like of course I love Vroom Vroom and I love Rico Nasty in general. So I like iPhone. Uh, I'm trying to think. I love Immaterial. I think it's more experimental than hyperpop, but it still has the elements. Um, because I would listen to iPhone. I said that maybe Pink Diamond, but it was also intense. But the rest, I don't think I would re-listen to it. These were a little bit much for me, like I keep saying. But let me know what's your favorite music genre. Do you like hyperpop? What you think of it? Is it too much for you? So you're like, I don't ever listen to it. Do you like lo-fi? I thought about reviewing the lo-fi genre. I like lo-fi, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. What are you thinking? Are you ready for Thanksgiving next week? Whatever you want to say, let me know, and I will see you all next week.